to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Foo.
I think that'd be interesting because one of the hardships from like primetime playing was always the fuck you and the irritant that it was to leverage your fields or whatever you were doing your thing, your project from like a hardship. And that was fine and dandy up until a point to where it was such a hardship that you were gonna the whole BGAN thing, the whole satellite phone data thing. Well, always irritated the shit out of me.
If you're the offensive player, it's a hardship for you to go do the thing, and then if you're on defense and you need to take something down, that's a hardship on that player too. That's a tough
right, and because I as a player, I enjoy that part, but I don't enjoy it to such a capacity that I'm crippling my opponent. I want it just hard enough to where I make you put out an effort, but the effort isn't...
It's obtainium.
It's right.
You don't want unobtainium.
Right.
Yeah.
And there were too many times where I think we got stuck into how unobtainium can we make it, and then
you're deadlocked or whatever.
Right, and it seemed like we were always struggling with the whole satellite BGAN unobtainium.
Right,
and we made do, which was we moved the goalpost because we came up with the poles of shame, and that. And I'm good with that, but at some point that was also predicated on Donna being available and all of her tech, and then typically a bitch, two bitches,
a couple of bitches
to hold poles, and usually someone running
from portal to pole.
Right. And it was always good entertainment. It's always good stories, but what ended up happening in the in-between times, which as someone who was part of like someone who took grievances and like a community, like an audience with the community, it was a pain because those things typically stood and impacted players' playtime.
Both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Because the team that put it up was like, haha, fuck you, go deal with it, and then it was on us to solve the problem.
Then there's communities of players that are underneath it that can't do anything now.
Now they've somewhat solved that problem in Ingress by allowing you a certain amount of links available.
Right.
Link distance available underneath the field. I think that's a step in the right direction. But towards the tail end of our primetime play, we were already adopting, when we chuck the thing, we hit the mark. At the time, there was a pretty big contest on hitting septicycles and checkpoints. And we would hit the thing that we would want to hit so that we would get the points, and then we would drop it. So that way... there was no need for the opponent to come back out and perhaps rethrow the same thing, but also because the oppressive field play led to anguish on both sides. Like it became, and typically the people that were playing and doing these things were a very slim percentage of the player base on either side. So it was like, oh, well, that special club or clique was doing that, and I'm not part of it, so I don't get to see it. I'm just a guy who's out here capturing Altessa, and Morgan Creek Playground.
Suddenly I can't do
and
anything.
now I can't. Now I can't do that. So, and it was very apparent to me. It was like we can't keep leaving these things up.
Right.
It's like we'll do a thing because it's a project and we're trying to get someone a badge. Absolutely, but when we're done, we bring it back down, and then we clog everything back up again so that no one gets any frosty ideas.
Right.
We're the missile.
Yes.
So would be another thing where you could get around that. Like, if I can't get there because it's a satellite phone thing, but I've leveled the missile badge up to black, and now I can reach 25 kilometers, and I have the strength of a maximum strength of an R6. If I had 8 other people to come with me, then we could drop.
Everyone could missile the same thing.
Yeah, everyone could drop like a P5 or under. Sure.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't have that hardship.
Yeah, just so anyone's trying to understand what we're talking about. I brought up the idea because I've been kicking this around. There's a lot of portals in Ingress that you can't get to because of time, distance, availability. It's on a mountaintop.
Right. Yeah.
There's any number of reasons. It's in a closed area at night or whatever it is. And I'm like, wouldn't that be cool if you could, like, every 5 minutes be able to launch, like, a distance thing from where you're at. I think you'd kind of have to have the key for the portal in order to hit it. Like, which key do you want to send this to?
That would be fair, because you would need a key, sure, and then you would need the key. Yeah. Because and be within distance of it.
Yeah.
So I may not have if I had a 25 kilometer range, I wouldn't have to necessarily be on top of Mount Rose or something.
Right.
But I could be in South Shore or North Shore.
Yeah.
And with my scanner open and then chuck it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just think that you're sort of helping to level that playing field a little bit where, that was one of the tough parts about Ingress was back when we played a ton was the ability to get to some of those portals or their ability for you.
I agree. Yeah.
And it's not even if you can only launch every 5 minutes, chances are good they're going to charge it. And all you're doing is going, hey.
Right.
But if you had 8 people to all simultaneously launch
their
thing at the same time or more,
maybe you would get the portal.
You could get it. That would be actually right. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. That's pretty cool to think about. And we need to go talk to the Niantic folks.
Or no. Wait, or Lightship,
Niantic
whatever
Labs or Lightship or
I don't know.
Whoever they are. We have to talk to them.
Right.
Someone's probably thought of this.
And then by the time they look at it, they'll be like, and I can see the other side. They'll be like, no, part of the Ingress is that you have to get there. Well, if I have a key.
Well, you can drone hack portals now.
Right.
So you don't have to be there. I mean, you had to have gone there just like getting a key.
Sure.
In order to put your drone there, you got to go there.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing. Except you're getting less benefits other than the fact that you're going, hi, bitch. We see it.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Oh, I like it.
I'm contacting them. That's it.
Do it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, welcome to the show. It's Sad Dad's Club Podcast, episode 223.
Yikes.
I'm the Lord Fu.
And I'm Jim. And we are fresh out of the holidays.
Right.
Breathing time. Holy mackerel.
Did you? I made a plan with Venus because we were talking as I came out of PTO. Did you get your decorations down?
My lights are still on the house.
Are they?
Yeah, when my daughter's home, like, I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff, right? I don't spend time. If I can spend time hanging out, then I'm going to do that as much as possible.
Right.
So if that means that I'm not going to pull my lights down until 10 days of storm go by, then I'll just wait, And so she left
Monday.
So the 2nd, and so that would have been the perfect day to take them down. But we were hanging out. We were helping her like pack stuff take stuff back to her apartment. And And it was such a busy time. Like, I just wanted to chill.
Yeah.
And our typical mode of operating at our house is New Year's Day, everything comes down.
Mm.
And it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
really
push to do
We
it.
looked at like PTO and Venus was like, so we need to take the lights down. And I went,
I had to put them up.
But yeah, now we're a sad house again. And I was like eyeballing to get back to work and looking at like how the logistics worked, and rain has been coming, and we were going into like, well, when do we? She's like, let's just leave it up for New Year's. Leave it up for New Year's, and then Monday we'll do. I'll take down the Christmas decorations inside the house, and then or maybe that was Sunday. I think we decided to do it Sunday, New Year's Day, because then Monday we decided because it was an observed holiday for me. Yeah. So then it was like,
I'm not doing shit.
We won't do shit.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the first times, because normally I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm not really in a rush to fuck it. I'm festive. Like, I love lights, whatever. Now I might unplug them, but I have let my Christmas lights ride.
Well,
ride.
Like I said, our normal operating procedure is to get them down after New Year's. Right after. And normally, if Millie was living at home or whatever, that would have happened. But because we had her home and like stuff was happening, and
right, and you're chilling. So
I didn't want to spend my time out on the front, like up on the fucking roof.
Right.
So they'll come down. I'm not going to leave them up year round or anything like that.
It wasn't, I think, anything other than like one of the first times I was like, because I've left fucking lights up all year before. They were blue, so it was like you can't really see them. They're dark, and that's how I'm making that work for me personally.
Right.
It was just like, no, I need to. I put them up. I got to take them down because I don't want to be irritated by it myself or hear it from someone else in the house about how we're the lazy sad house. So, and we both are like kind of fed off each other on it. I'm like, I'll go up on Sunday after I get off work and I'll do this, and then you commit to do yours, and we kind of just, all right, I'll do mine and you do yours, and then it'll all be done. The house will be done.
Yeah.
We're like, dialed it in. Perfect. So our shit for the first time in years all was snap, done, ping, ping, on the quick.
Yeah, even Shanna on the inside of the house, she didn't start until Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. She didn't start taking everything. Well, so that was after Melly left, but she didn't start taking anything down in the house until yesterday. And we got most of the stuff in the house packed up. The Christmas tree is devoid of stuff and needs to be put away.
Yeah.
And everything's like kind of staged to go back up in the attic and stuff.
Yeah.
But the lights is like an outdoor, like now the weather, and I knew this was going to happen and at some point in my life.
Right.
Because normally we're like I said, Thanksgiving's over, they go up. New Year's, right after New Year's, they come back down.
Right.
And this time it didn't happen because.
Right. And then there's the rain too. You won't be able to probably pick it up, but my garage door sounds like a Motel 6 room booked right next to a prom evening or something, because it's windy as shit.
Sounds like
and it's like it's flexing the door.
It sounds like prom dresses slapping the door.
Hi, Billy. It's my first. No, anyway. Oh shit. Dark fast. So the weather was like, if I didn't actually do here, then wait, when's it? What's the weather? Oh shit, it's raining for the next
year.
Yeah. I had a joke with a friend at work. She lives out in Citrus Heights, and she's got like a roof sort of problem.
Like a leak or something?
Yeah, and she's got someone coming back out to redo some work that was done just a hair before COVID.
Oh.
And we were joking about how much it was supposed to rain. I'm like, on the news, the way I looked at it, there was a meteorologist that was talking about how if there was a component of the storm that's just off the California coast that had come out of the tropics, it would be categorized as a they would call it a Category 1 hurricane. Like it's got that much punch and wind in it that it's gonna. I mean, I was talking with Venus. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna rain again. Huh? And then the coworker, she was like, yeah, it's gonna rain. I'm like, yeah, but do you know? No, it's gonna dump. Or
is it a hurricane here or a cyclone?
I think if it goes, I think it's above the equator. Or is it the? Ooh, shit. If it starts in the southern hemisphere, it's a hurricane, and no.
I thought if it was like Atlantic side,
if it spins one way, it's the hurricane. If it spins the other way, it's the cyclone.
I don't know. Well, I mean, a Category 1 is 74 mile an hour at a minimum. 74 mile an hour sustained winds, up to 95. So we're expecting 50 mile an hour gusts. So we're a little bit below that here. Now, maybe...
Yeah, Mendo Coast was getting hit.
Maybe on the coast it's a little bit worse.
Yeah, so the coworkers, the storms, crap. And then we were talking about... Oh, it was the rain.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm down Mother Nature for giving us the rain, but I kind of need you to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And, and she's like, because we take some of these days and put them out in like June or something, we're like, yeah, rain. And then Mother Nature would be like, you want fire? I'm like, no, fuck, shit, stop.
Right.
Stop.
Well, it's like the fires all happen at once. Now the rain's all happening at once.
We need the rain like drawn out.
Yeah.
Drawn out.
About like 1 day a week for the next 10 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And last year.
Because right now we're projected to have for the next 10 days.
Is it
every day except Friday is got rain on it?
Well, that's good.
Like literally 9 out of 10 days have rain.
I was talking with my dad, and he was like, last year kind of started this way too,
and fizzled.
But then we went 67 days, I think he said, without anything else.
Yeah,
like it just dropped, nothing.
Yeah, I think. It kind of started around Thanksgiving and then sort of died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I think we got rain. The last time we got rain was on January 1 of last year.
Yeah.
And then we got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, we just need it. Like, if it translates to snowpack.
Well, they're saying that's 175% of normal right
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just saw on the news tonight that they were dumping 7 feet out of Folsom Lake.
Oh, because it's that.
Yeah, they've got the new spillway.
Oh, I gotta go see it.
That big wide one.
Yeah.
They got that one like flowing hard down into the river.
Have you seen that? Like fully.
I've never seen that one lit up.
I
have seen the other gates across the front lit up, but never seen because that one's new.
Yeah, the new spillway.
Yeah, and I had never seen any water come through there before.
There's all kinds of cool physics and, God damn it, I can't think of the word. Physics is going to be short for it. About how, why there are, there's like little plaques along the side, like how the steps work to distribute kinetic energy of the water going down the distance that it is, and that it disperses kinetic. That's why there are steps in it. I
never really looked at it that close. It looks just like it looks like it's just smooth.
But
or
there
something.
are like ding.
Oh, there are.
There are steps down.
Oh,
and I picked this up when Orville took a shit. You remember that? The whole purpose of the thing at the bottom that was like that huge ass block that kicks water up into thing is to disperse
and not dredge the river out.
Right. It's to disperse, to throw the energy back up into the air from the water going, the kinetic energy of all the water hitting down. It would literally bore a hole if you let it go straight into the riverbed.
Right.
So they toss it up and force the water to disperse its energy into. Fascinating.
Yeah, I love that.
Hydrophysics?
Hydro.
Right? You know what?
I know what you're saying, and I love that stuff.
Yes.
Like, this is one of my guilty pleasures is watching Post 10 on YouTube.
Post 10.
So this is just a kid that lives in like
Oh, is it
Boston area or somewhere in Massachusetts. And he goes and unclogs culverts and drains when it rains. Like,
yeah.
He's just this like young guy. He was out here in California just like here in the last month or two, like
really?
touring around and like did a bunch of videos like at Shasta and a bunch of stuff. Fascinating. But he'll go and like, talk about the water going through the tube and like how, can you hear it? It's creating the suction, but then it breaks and you can hear it when, and he is fucking excited about how he's talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just I used to play with, this sounds terrible. When I was a kid, we had square gutters in my neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, people run their sprinklers or whatever water, and we would like take leaves and like have boat races down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
And just the hydrodynamicism of all of it is fascinating to me, like how water works and how powerful it is. And in fact, speaking of dams, I just watched a video, Engineering Explained or something like that on YouTube the other day that was talking about the lift gates on dams and the different designs that different dams use. That's all fascinating shit.
Oh, wow.
All fast. I love that stuff.
Huh.
I wish I was smart enough to go to school to do it. Because it's super interesting.
Yeah, when we left on a walk, I think last week, we were in between one of the storms. I picked up a stick because we've got some of those big maples around here, and the force of a thunder. Thor, hello, is that you? My buddy is ready, Mr. Hemsworth. The leaves and the gutters, and it had just some of these last storms were packing wind. So on our walk, I'm carrying a stick and I'm like cleaning out the drain to make sure that I'm doing the thing. I'm like, oh, I can't walk by because scrape it up, and then look at the water. There's so much water.
Yeah.
Wow. And then down the road. Oh, that one's clean. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that Post 10 would do is there's a road that has standing water and cars are splashing through it, right? And he's out there with a rake. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and finds where the drain is and starts unclogging it, and he gets a whirlpool going and he gets fucking excited, and he's just like an odd guy, but like interesting enough that you can watch him and like kind of nerdy and all that shit, but he's interesting,
Yeah.
So I end up watching his stuff because it's interesting because he's just.
What does he do when it snows?
He'll go out. He goes in like he broke up like an ice flow that had frozen into a culvert. Yeah. And he broke that up, and he'll go make videos even though it's snowing outside, if it's frozen over, if it's whatever.
He's like, and this stuff doesn't drain. This is bullshit.
Watch him clean up like beaver dams and stuff. Fascinating. And he finds these logging roads that he goes down, and like the beavers will like clog up stuff, and he'll park and like walk, and he'll talk, okay, the culvert starts here and it comes out on this side, and he'll put a video on the back or a camera on the back side, and then he'll go unclog the beaver dam on the front side, and then you'll see like in split camera view kind of like what's happening on the back end, and you get to see the whole flow and then how much water drops out of the like what the beavers have dammed up. It's just interesting. It's just like, oh, this is fun. Kind of, I don't know why it's cool to watch this guy like unclog crap, but it's fascinating.
It's like, my daughter, I had a shoe shine video on like late at night. I think it was Friday. Like a guy on the streets of Mexico doing it's just shoe shine.
Not a knob polish.
Not a knob. Not a toe hitch polish, chroming, anything like that. I think she come in late, hanging out with the guys and gals, her crew, and I'm shooting aliens in the face, but I've got the shoe shine thing up, and she said, she's like, oh, do you watch hairbrushing?
Oh, that's one, huh?
Hairbrushing is so I'm like.
So is that almost ASMR stuff?
Yeah, for her, it is. It's like a calming.
I mean, I guess that's kind of like what I see in Post 10, right? A little, it's kind of calming and interesting.
There's an interest tickle that kind of like gives you like a weird.
I want to go unclog that drain.
I want to do that. I enjoy that. I punched something up like hairbrush videos, and it was pretty much like the same kind of thing that you may have if you're into ASMR. Like the people that just like do stuff on the mic,
Right.
or like anyway. So I pulled one random one up, and she's kind of like vegging out on it. I'm like. Not
like a shoe polish one?
Yeah, no, it was a hair brushing that she
yeah.
had like authorized. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good one." Like, watch this. And I went, "Okay." Now here's the thing: it wasn't my bag,
right?
But I know, there's a lot. I enjoy brushing Venus's hair, like, especially when we were. Without kids, like, or when I have a spare moment and like it's like a thing, like, oh, I'll do something special, brush her hair, like, and to get it like actual, like there's her eyes roll back in her head, kind of like like a massage, but the hair brushing is the thing. I enjoy brushing her hair. Piper has like a head thing too, where she likes to have her head rubbed, but I didn't necessarily know that she enjoyed. Or that hairbrushing worked for her. So in seeing it, I'm like, this does nothing for me, but I could see how you may like it because you like your hairbrush. So I pulled up there's a South American, like in Ecuador, Paraguay, there's like this like spiritual cleansing thing where they do, it's kind of like a massaging, but it's also like tribal stuff where they're like trying to clean your spirit by rubbing an egg and peppers on you, and then they like rub you with like scented oils and do like a whole crystal thing. I find that to be centering too.
Okay, I can see that.
They call it limpia. They do it in Mexico City as well. It's usually just done with like horns and they beat you with like herbs, like they scare out and purify your aura or your soul with herbs by hitting you. It's kind of funny.
Provide the beating,
right?
For me.
But I'm like, and they spend a good chunk of it also like doing head massage. So I'm like, you should watch this because it's like a cross between stuff that I like and the hair thing. And I couldn't quite get a read on whether or not it was her bag, but I'm like, oh yeah, see, the head thing. And then the other, I think it was New Year's Day. It might have been New Year's Eve. I caught them both like in the kitchen. I went and snagged the brush, and I'm brushing the hair. And
did you two-hand it?
Both what?
Two hands?
No, I had to do one at a time. But it was Piper, and she was like irritated or having a grumpy. I snagged the brush and I brushed her, and it was like. Whatever you do, like a gator or like a shark, you flip them over and they.
Oh yeah.
Or you rub your dog's.
They go comatose.
Yeah, belly. So I believe it with the with watching the.
You think that
each their own?
Do you think that they would enjoy those, like, those wire things?
Piper does. I don't think Venus enjoys the wire thing. Absolutely. But like it gets to a point where like if I did it every day, I think I would
not like it as much.
Not
it would get
appreciate
old.
It.
Yeah.
So like every once in a while, I'll go grab it and just like twist it on my head and just like absolutely like and drool on the floor. Everybody, I did it to Xander too, because the girls were like, I wonder what Xander would do. And he was still in bed. I fucking opened up his door and he was like, what? And he's like looking at us. He's watching YouTube on his phone, but he's laying in bed. And I just didn't say a word, just started brushing his hair, and he set his phone down and I'm like, yeah, it works on Xander too. It just puts him. So hair brushing.
I mean, I used to dig that. My grandmother used to scratch my head. I really liked that. I was like, hey, Grandma, will you scratch my head?
Really?
Yeah, and she would do it for a little while. That was awesome.
She
had those
nice nails.
Nice nails. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think there was someone that didn't like the wire thing. I can't remember if
I would
it
imagine
might be Venus.
it's probably like 50-50, like people that like it as opposed to don't like it, or it's probably one of those kind of things.
Like it gives me like the first couple like twists and bobbings of it gives me like the tingles.
You
like
get
it,
like your hair standing up and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then like, oh yeah, those are those acupuncture points or whatever the fuck it does. But
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, we're dads for sure.
Yes.
I mean, as far as I could tell.
Yes.
As far as we know. Also, we don't know how many kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can breed. Not anymore, but I have.
Being dads, I ordered something for us to try on the show.
Okay.
And it came from Amazon. It's a cocktail smoker kit it comes with a torch, and so you smoke whiskey or bourbon or whatever. And it's a little torch with a thing that sits on top of the cup, and it comes with like wood chips, and you put that in there, and then you smoke it. You torch up the wood chips, and then you cover it, and the smoke from the chips comes down and enters the glass, and then smokes your whiskey, and then you drink smoked whiskey.
Right.
So I figured, because this is kind of like kind of a dad thing.
Right. I have smoked whiskey. I just put it in the bowl and put it in the smoker.
Yeah.
So I have done this, but on a bigger scale.
And I have not tried this before. I have not smoked whiskey in my own smoker. So I'm just curious to know. I mean, I've had smoked whiskey, but not done myself.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see how this works and if we think it's worthwhile.
Okay.
So I think we should give it a whirl.
Yeah, do the things.
Yeah.
I have the instructions here. Now, when I saw you sent the picture of what you were going to try.
Yeah.
I've seen. If you've seen any cooking shows, you've probably seen a variant of this, because this is kind of a lot of what they're doing in like a big restaurant. They're not.
Oh yeah.
Like a fancy
with a glass.
Right. They're not working a smoker. They're doing a smoker on a scale that's like for your dish,
right,
or the portion of the thing.
Right.
So
so this, just so you know, it's like a $46 kit you can get on Amazon.
Okay.
And so I figured, why not?
I thought about bringing like a piece of cheese or a cracker or something out here, because you could like smoke something one bowl at a time.
Yeah, you could just put it in the glass and smoke it.
Okay.
So you got the thing in front of your laptop there. So I'm not. What does the directions say? So let's.
I'm going to read you the directions. So it's actually called Smoky Cocktail Lid. Is that the Amazon product?
Well, I don't know. Here's what the Amazon product listing says.
Okay.
Cocktail smoker kit with torch, whiskey smoker kit, bourbon smoker kit, older fashioned drink smoker kit with 4 flavors, wood chips, whiskey, gifts for men /husband /dad, parenthesis, no butane /glass. So it doesn't.
It didn't come with the butane.
It didn't come with butane or a glass, which I'm happy that you brought some out because I didn't even think about it.
Okay, so the how to use Smoky Cocktail Lid.
Yeah.
Step 1. Place smoky cocktail lid on top of your chosen vessel.
Okay. It's on there. This is your glass, because it's got more.
There you go.
More stuff in it.
Step 2. Add some sawdust to the chimney.
Sawdust.
And ignite it with a musket.
Okay, so they come with 4 different chips. They've got apple, oak, pecan, and cherry. Which
apple.
one? You want apple. Apple's kind of like if I'm going to smoke something unusual, I would probably go with an apple smoked. But I'll try.
I like apple and pecan. I did some of those Cheez-It grooves.
Yeah, not the snapped one, not the snapped ones, the ridged ones.
Yeah, they're the ridged ones that are about the size of a Triscuit-ish. And I had those out on Christmas dinner, and my dad, I think the next day, was like, "How long do you smoke those? Because I really like those."
How much do I put in there?
It doesn't say. There's no.
You just,
and we're not going to gloss over the fact that, yes, you heard it correct. It said ignite it with a musket. Now, I don't know about you.
With a musket.
I'm not a gun phobe, but I don't have a musket, but we do have the butane lighter.
It came with a torch.
Right.
With a
So the add some sawdust to the chimney and ignite it with a musket. Step
Okay.
3 is smoke is generated and flows into container within 2 seconds.
So that doesn't tell you to put this lid on there, but that's how it works.
That's got to be like step 3.5 or 2.5.
All right, we're torching it. We got smoke.
Yep. Now you pop the doodad on there.
Do you think I did it enough?
I mean, it was clearly smoking. I think I see it.
I think I see some
It's
in the
in
glass.
there. It's in there.
All right. And then how long do you let it?
Flows into the container within 2 to 3 seconds.
I mean, I see smoke in the glass.
I would just move on to the next one.
Well, I only have one. I only have one smoker doodad.
Right, but you're not going to leave it there. Now you can take it off, relight it, and chuck it onto yours.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. So there's clearly a waft of smoke in there.
All right. Well, for
Fuck.
simplicity, I'm just going to relight this.
Yeah.
And then...
There you go. Oh, yeah, look. Look how you got a lot more coming out.
Maybe you have to give it a little bit more torchy.
I bet that's probably better. Yours is way more.
You want me to do yours again?
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you let it sit like that, though?
Well, I think the thing is here, it's not like when I smoked the whiskey with a bowl. Like, I left it in there, and I'm going to get heavy particulates. I think this is more of like a
seasoning?
Like a nose trigger thing. Like, as you put your nose into the glass and you consume it, you're going to get the... there you go. See it falling into the glass.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So now I think you got to... The experience here is that you've got to hit it.
You got to give it some good torching.
But what do you do
good
with
musketing?
Because now you've got hot coals in a colander. You can't just set that on.
Well, no, it's got there's like a cup with holes in it.
Oh.
The colander sits on top, and there's like a thing that hangs down with holes, and then smoke comes through the holes.
Okay.
So the little basket doesn't actually stick out the bottom. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've got to hit it. The smoke is not really going to permeate. It's more about the...
the smoke with the whiskey smells really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's smoky, but I think that's because you're in it and you're pulling all of that stuff in at the same time. But
I would think that if you were gonna, if I was gonna smoke a glass, I'd probably leave it sitting for maybe a minute. Don't you think?
I get, yeah.
To let the smoke kind of get into the whiskey a little bit more? No?
Probably.
Because, I mean, if you're smoking whiskey in your smoker here, you're smoking a lot more, but how long do you let it smoke for? Probably
too long. Because, here's the thing. I don't think you're wrong, but if I'm using a premium whiskey or bourbon and I'm doing this, I don't really want too much of the particulates of the smoke to actually taint the bourbon. I want the experience of the smell like I'm drinking it straight out of like the cask or something.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, I want those two things separate. One is for my nose and this is for my...
And I definitely get...
But it's
when
there.
I bring the glass up to my face,
it's there. And
that smoke is there.
So then you're really talking about at what point do you smoke it because you want it to stick to the glass and leave its aroma on the glass versus falling into the bourbon and tainting the whiskey itself.
It's good.
It's that experience of the smoke that I probably ruin many batches of whiskey in leaving it in the smoker too long. But
So do you get the impression that when you smoke in your regular smoker that you are ruining your whiskey? Or I
do. I don't use expensive stuff. I've just done Jack because one, you're some of it just in the heat and being outside alone, it's kind of evaporating to the ether. So it's changing its taste anyway. And plus the amount of time that I leave it in the smoker, I'm getting, I'm tainting it all kinds of way from the original grand design.
So I'm thinking though, maybe for you, see, that's the difference. Where my mind was like, oh, I would use my cold smoker.
Yes.
So that way you're not heating up the whiskey. You're just kind of like this, right?
I don't put heat. I cold smoke it, but there's enough ambient heat and
that
being
you think
alcohol
it affects it enough
that I think if I leave it out there in a cold smoke for an hour, some of it is evaporating off.
This is interesting because now I feel like I need to try smoking some in my smoker, and then also do this.
And it definitely makes it. It takes a lot of the dragon's fire out of it when I've left it in the smoker for like an hour and put a smoke into it. Like it has made it not soda or beer, like poundable, but it has taken it felt like it had taken some of the proof off to where it was like, oh, well, this isn't so, and it's darkened it because I've got smoke particulates that have fallen into it.
See, I think this is, in my opinion, it's sort of, maybe if I let it sit for a little bit longer, maybe like a minute. That's what I would do.
Well, then relight it.
No,
change the thing and then put a.
Because I get the smoke flavor. I definitely smell it, and I get the smoke flavor out of there. But I think if you just let it sit for a minute, then probably you're just adding enough. You're not changing really anything about the whiskey, right?
Yeah. I think this method is probably a lot better.
Well, plus you don't have to ruin a whole batch.
Right.
Because you're not going to fire up your smoker and put a cup in there.
Right. Yeah. I would do I was doing whole bottles of Jack.
I'm going to put a little fresh in there.
Yeah.
This is really interesting.
You like to freshen up, honey? I think that's an awesome way to do. Like I said, I've seen kitchens use similar devices for plates of fish. It's like, oh, I can't do this, but I'll put or small batch. I want to boutique, like a side dish where you're just making something specific for one person. Yeah. Like if I was doing a Mother's Day thing, or one of the birthday dishes for the kids, and I was like, I'm only plating one person at a time, and it calls for this type of thing. This is it. This will do it. Absolutely.
We watch a show on.
I'm okay, 45. Okay, so
we watch a show on whatever. It's the yacht show. I can't think of the name. Below Deck.
Okay.
And they have a
below my what?
Below Deck.
Oh, okay.
They have a chef on board.
Okay.
And people are spending $50,000 for 2 nights on a ship. Mm-hmm. On these crazy yachts. So they have food preferences and all this stuff that go through the chef, and then the chef has to design his menu around. And we've seen them do the smoker bit on the boat.
Okay.
Where he smokes it and it comes out with a glass cover with smoke in it.
Oh, yeah.
And he serves it to them, and then they take it off and the smoke comes off.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the food is sitting from the galley. They have to bring it up the stairs and up to the dining, wherever they're dining, and plate it. So it's being prepped, smoked, the stuff's being plated, and some of the stuff's being sat for probably a minute or two at least, and then has to be carried up to the people. So it's definitely sitting on the food. The food is definitely sitting in the smoke for a couple of minutes, probably.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much of a difference that makes. I mean, I guess it comes down to preference.
Probably. Because we know plenty of people that don't. It's like all my smoked noms. Not everyone's.
Right.
It's not everyone's bag. So it's it's okay. To some people, the smoke is too heavy. Some people, it's just oh, well, that's not a thing for me. I prefer the vanilla version kind of thing.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I'm going to say if you're into this, it's a nice little kit.
So I'm curious now.
How you get it
So
out.
what the cleanup is?
It comes with a little, looks like a lash brush for the holes in the bottom, I assume, and to clean the bottom. And then...
You think you can wash that entire thing?
I mean, it's wood.
I'm redneck, so I would wash everything in there. Because you're going to, over time, you would get, like your smoker, you would get
soot buildup.
Like a residue and particulates. But if you were...
Also, as I'm looking at it, too, if you'll notice, this plate that sits on the bottom, it'll actually turn, and the holes in the bottom...
Oh, for aerating? Oh.
You can adjust how much smoke makes it into the glass.
Oh.
And it was kind of closed off, to be honest.
Oh, so you're damper.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a damper if you don't have that lined up, I assume.
Okay, so you can adjust, too, how quick and... hit it again and then...
I'm hitting it again.
There it goes.
We hotbox in this garage.
Yeah.
Does it need more?
I don't see it falling down. There it goes.
Now it's falling down. That's pretty cool, actually.
It's very handy. I wish I... Yeah. I mean,
I think this is for...
as a person that loves smoked shit...
Yeah.
Not that, but...
Wait, you don't want the smoked hippie lettuce?
Because it came with the gun. It came with the musket.
It came with a musket.
It came with its own musket.
Yeah. Yeah. And it came with the little cleaner guy.
A sampling of chips.
It came with a little scooper.
Now we have... I mean, if we were being honest, that's probably like two, three, not quite full-size portions of like a sipping highball of whiskey.
Yeah.
And
it smells
we
really
used
good.
only a fraction of one of 4 available chips.
Letting it sit makes a big difference.
Does it?
Yeah, big difference.
I don't know. That's probably... I'm going to let it sit for another 30 seconds just to see.
Right on there's a top layer that seems to get the hit of the smoke.
Yeah.
And man, that first little sip is like, oh.
Yeah.
Now I got to try all the other chips at some point. Pecan, oak.
Yeah, pecan
cherry.
and apple. Those are my go-tos.
I like apple. I like cherry. Peach. I've tried peach. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking with the Chuck and Venus's dad and mother-in-law. They Mary, her family has a pretty significantly large size piece of property in Orangevale. I want to say that was originally like oranges, olives, oranges, mandarins, I think specifically mandarins, but they were here OG. There
was a reason why it was called Orangevale.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were one of those families that did that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I goddamn, I will never get tired of that smell. It just reminds me of home. The smoke.
Yeah.
It's like wood stove. Anyway, they after the mother and father passed, the kids haven't quite decided what to do, and no one maintains it like it was being maintained when mom and dad were there. So a lot of the trees are unpruned, and they're not producing. The years of drought have really done a number on the stuff that's there, and then you're paying for water why would you? And when things do produce fruit, it becomes problematic because no one's really there to help shuttle it off to somebody, so then it just goes to waste.
Because now you're a working farm, and these people probably work full-time jobs.
Right. Exactly. Everyone is, and in order to make the most out of the actual property and all of the produce that it produces, you would have to be full-time, and no one has it. So a number of the trees, if not all of them, in the last year or so were knocked down to be stumped.
Oh, wow.
Kind of thing, because it was like, well, We ain't nothing to do with these anymore. And then COVID, somewhere in COVID, the guy that knocked down the trees was supposed to come and like stump everything, but that didn't happen because people got busy. Apparently some fucking neighbor calls and says that now because they're all laying over, it's a fucking fire hazard. So they had to pay to have someone. Anyway, a lot of the trees are fruit woods.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, God, please save me
chunk.
Some of the fruit woods because
I'll chip them and smoke them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because what would I mean, I've never seen anyone sell orange wood. I would imagine that.
And I don't know. I think they have.
Or
I think the peaches. I
olive
think what
wood.
I was mostly interested in was the peaches. Because I know that smokes well. I don't know if orange smokes well. I don't think I've ever seen orange wood smoke. Have you?
No, that's what I'm saying. But it sounds intriguing.
Maybe it kills you.
Well, if you inhale enough smoke, yes.
I saw... Oh, man.
It doesn't matter what tree
totally
it is.
Speaking about citrus, I saw this thing that was every citrus fruit that we know in modern times has been descendant of two, the pomelo and the citron. Every lime, mandarin,
Really?
orange, but is man's manipulation of two fruits, the pomelo and the citron. And that's how we have every piece of fucking the blood orange, the
that's
grapefruit,
fascinating.
the pink grapefruit, the mandarin, the nippolingus. I made that one up.
The navels.
Yeah, it's all man fucking with nature's
Genetics.
original
Yeah.
too. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how an orange smokes or mandarin.
Probably like wood.
Yeah, probably lights on fire. Let her get her.
I mean, I got some Chinese maple in my backyard I could let you try if you want.
No,
Or whatever it is that just fell on my
Is it like
fence.
literally just a maple tree? There's no...
It's a Chinese something. I don't know.
Oh, man.
We're looking at cutting it down.
The second half of this, the other half of this instruction set is...
It's sort of like
Okay.
It's sort of like the item in Amazon that you would read about it.
Yes, there's a little bit of lost in translation here for sure. But one of the second bullet point here is wonderful visual and sensory feast. Put the smoker's smoking accessories on the glass. Add wood chips. Ignite it with a smoking gun. The smoke slowly flows into the glass through the small holes. Produce a cascading waterfall of cooking smoke, which is mixed in your cocktail. This is an exquisite supplement. Your dining or drinking experience and ignite the senses.
It actually is pretty cool to see it like cascade down.
It's like the weight, like a dry ice thing or like a smoke machine. Like
Yeah. Really interesting.
Did you put some lights in there and it'd be like a little fucking rave?
Yeah. I would say, I mean, if I had to review this,
Yeah.
I would say definitely
Which you do.
5 stars. I mean, it's kind of a neat little kit.
Everything worked. It did exactly as it said.
I think a little bit expensive, but what you're paying for really is the smoker cap that goes on the glass. That's probably the most expensive bit, and the little tins of wood chips.
Right. Now,
but you get a torch that you can buy for what, $8 or $9 probably.
Right. Could you?
I mean, a musket.
Could you fake this with a let's see, a sheet of tinfoil, a loose tea.
Why do I
bowl?
feel like you're going back to your college days of smoking
Right.
weed all of
Yeah.
a sudden?
And then, so a tea. What do they call those? Like a tea ball dropper?
Yeah, I don't know.
A tea. What is that?
What do you do?
Loose leaf tea.
Yeah, but what do you do when you
dipper.
steep it? A steeper?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
what? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could mold one of like a square piece of tinfoil around like a golf ball or something, punch holes in it, put wood chips in it, and take any butane and. But this is done and ready to go.
This makes it easy. I mean we were able to do this on the podcast, so it's not like it's hard.
Right.
Now you don't get butane in the thing. Jason provided some
Right.
butane.
I don't know how to use it.
Which is weird because the butane that he has that doesn't work for his torch worked for my musket.
Perfectly for your musket.
Yeah.
And you could call it a musket because clearly they do.
Exactly.
So how many people do you know also have a kitchen musket?
I haven't seen anything fly out of it other than flame.
It didn't have any balls strapped to it.
There's no black powder.
Yeah.
I didn't have to reload it any kind of weird way.
Batting or a pipe to stuff it down the throat.
Yeah. So, I don't know, kind of a neat thing. I feel like most products on Amazon are written in that sort of fashion.
Did you... Okay, so that's interesting. So did you read any of the reviews of it before you...
No.
So now I'm interested to see how that turns out relative to what you just did blind as an experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just thought it was cool, and I was like, I'm going to...
Doesn't fit on my glass. Well, stop drinking out of a dog bowl, you fucking idiots.
Let's see what... Well, it has... It only has 6 ratings.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is easily carbon copy, so there could be 10, 15 other Ulanzis making
well,
this.
yeah, and it's Hawin Pi, HAAWINPI.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably being like Ulanzis. It's being rebranded under a number of things.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. So the reviews are, I mean, obviously pretty good, but only 6 people have reviewed it.
Well, you'll be like number 7.
And, someone says nice starter kit, good beginner smoked cocktail set. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not...
I'm serious. Like, I bet you could take a small... How big is that thing again? How big around is the actual
that guy?
Smoker doodad?
It's that big? I mean, definitely big enough for a decent sized glass.
3.5 inches around is the actual thing that you set on your cup.
Yeah.
You could take like a small bowl and literally do like a single portion of like Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Or like a cracker salami.
Yeah.
A cheese and salami thing. I bet. And just leave it there for 5 minutes. Go do something. Get out your crackers. And you would be single portion like smoked noms.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
And it's thin. Like I guess once you've got the
it's
ash
like an inch and a half.
You could
like
store it
that sits on top of the glass, and then it sits down in the glass about maybe 3/4 of an inch. That's cool.
That's a handy thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking to fuck around and find out, that would be.
I think just for doing it on the show, it was worth it. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that. I just popped up in my thing and I went, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to try that. Why not?
I'm glad we only drank as much as we did because, like I said, I got to run.
Did you see that mine's empty?
Fuck.
So, those of you listening still, this show will be sort of drunk
Plus it's good
edited.
Whiskey.
So,
drunk edited? Fuck. Shit.
So, what we get is what we get, people.
Yeah.
No
You're
guarantees.
Hey, welcome to Sad Dad's Cool Podcast. Smoke knobs. Thanks for coming to the show.
Yeah.
So, last week, because we're through the holidays,
yeah,
I meant to say, you fuck me.
I did. I didn't even enjoy it.
This was, I know. This was one of the first years that I actually didn't get the guy something. But you came to my house in a hot sprint, and you got me the Vice Grip Garage beanie.
Yeah.
Which love the shit out. So there's the special feature. It is a little bit small, but my haircut affords me a very unique opportunity.
Velcro.
Yeah, Velcro. Absolutely. Now, I think when you dropped it off, because we were having guests.
Oh, so
I just shaved my head. So it was slicker than a baby's ass. Like, it's very waxed, kind of slippery.
Yeah.
So, like, I put it on and it kind of like slid up like a yarmulke. And I was like, oh, well.
You're like, great.
Well, I'll have to work this one out.
They didn't come in any different sizes.
But Monday, I made the joke with Venus. I'm like, oh, shit, man. But hold on. come Monday.
Yeah. The little fuzz.
Yeah, I shit you not. Like once the stubble kicked in, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it like perfect right around the ears.
Nice.
Now, I was gonna. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Because we get it. I love that gentleman's channel.
Yes.
He's a true
funny
card.
as shit.
I enjoy listening and watching his stuff and how he works on cars.
Yeah.
And my dad does too. So it was like you get it.
Yeah.
I'm point blank. Didn't get you shit.
I don't care.
And I'm not even gonna fake it. Like I thought about like, how fast can I get something here?
Don't know.
And so then he'll be like, and I would have it to you for the podcast, and I'll be like, oh, I just didn't have time to give you. I'm not even faking it.
No.
I didn't get you
I don't
shit.
want you to.
It's too late.
It's fine.
Something is going to happen randomly in the middle of the year.
You know,
I don't even
no.
know where it is.
Because here's the deal. You have done enough for me
No, absolutely.
over the years.
You can't pass it.
You
This is
have
like the Indiana Jones
Gone
ball.
to my house and saved my wife out of the attic.
Well, that was for her, though.
So, I know, but but at my request.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, there has been times where you have done other stuff for me that you didn't get anything in return,
Okay.
and I appreciate it.
Okay.
And it's not.
Well, I've already set
It's
these
not
other balls in motion.
It's
so
not a
you're
contest. It's just it was
Yes.
a thing I just thought of, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I got to do that. So it's not a big deal. Don't think it is.
fucked. Okay.
Don't.
We're not in some sort of like
No. It's not a pissing match.
Gift pissing.
It was just something I was like,
Next
oh,
Christmas,
fuck.
I got you a Bugatti. So,
It was one of those things where it's like, oh shit, my script garage has beanies. I have to order one. And then it was even a question on how long it took them to ship it out,
yeah.
on whether or not I was going to have it. So
Are you watching B is for Build lately?
only if he's got boat content.
Somewhere in early December,
Uh-huh.
he decided to do a giveaway. He's given away the Drift Z that they made,
Uh-huh.
and entries. Buying merch gets you entries to something. I bought like a couple, like a sticker pack and a koozie or something.
Uh-huh.
I have yet to see that shit. And I got a USB, and this could be United States Postal Service, fuck up. But I got a USPS tracking number thing in like mid-December.
Oh, wow.
That shit ain't here.
Did you track it?
It's like we've received the
shipping
manifest
info.
to do the thing,
Yeah.
but have got it hasn't left or given
It's
me.
almost like they printed the label and probably stuck it on a thing
Yeah.
and then never sent it. Yeah. At what point do you be like, hey,
Right.
just
So I, of
curious.
course, did the stupid thing and ordered another set of stuff. Because in his last episode...
He's like, fuck, we can't catch you. We can't get the first one out, pal.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he...
I know that they moved to a new shop.
They
They had to move to a new shop.
They had to move out.
Yeah.
Well,
They moved to a new shop, and then they just recently moved to a new shop.
they're out of it. They're back at the old digs because the lease ran out on the new temporary old shop. They're back.
So they've been moving around.
Yes.
I'm sure everything's falling through the cracks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But whatever the car is, he bought some, God damn it, what was it? A Bentley.
Uh-huh.
Some Bentley that was damaged in the last Hurricane Ian, I think, in Florida. He was working on, he gets the tail end of the episode, and he was like, yeah, so we're still doing the thing, and not a lot of people have entered. And the only thing that ran across my mind was, shit, I may actually have a chance to win
God.
a 350 Drift Z. So I went back and bought another set of stickers, knowing full
You're
well.
like, I have now entered twice,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I've got a lot of shit in the hopper, but I have no shit.
Do I have to get the shit to win? Because
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten the shit.
You've got my money, but I don't have my loot. But all I really care about is making sure that those entries are in.
Yeah.
Because you said not a lot of people have entered, and all I heard was
Buy more.
I might win.
Buy more
I
shit.
should buy more shit. And it worked. Fuck you. It worked. Because I have no positive feedback to
That's
suggest
hilarious.
that actually my money is going to anything other than that dude's pockets.
Right.
But I'm like, I might win a 350 Drift Z, and I'm excited about it.
And U-Hauls, for
And-
all we know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Well, the last, like I said, the last one I watched is they went out to the boat and they were working on the boat in the rain.
Yeah.
And they were
they're in,
sucking diesel fuel out of the tank or something like that.
yeah.
And that was the last one I saw. Oh, and I think that was the same video where they were in the new smaller garage, and I didn't even know they moved because I have been waiting for boat videos, and I haven't been watching like
They did. I think in the last 30 days they did do like a revisit the boat thing, but they got rained out. And so now they're in a
I
place
think that was the one
where
I
he was
watched.
like, we were going to do a bunch of boat content.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is the weather
weather.
up there isn't participating.
Well,
and,
they waited until wintertime to work on the boat.
right, yeah,
That's
mistake.
and
But
you're in Portland.
He's been buying a ton of cars from the Florida floods
Yeah.
that they've got projects upon projects stacked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really care. Wait, what was my Copart login? Because
And I mean, they're in Portland. And it's funny because Melanie's like, we're complaining. We weren't complaining. We were just talking about how much it's been raining. And she goes, well, welcome to Portland.
yeah,
You know, kind of a thing. And it's like, well, whatever. We don't have that much rain here. You're in the Pacific Northwest.
hey,
Yeah.
just if you want to bring down some buckets,
Yeah.
then,
Just throw them in our river.
we can do that.
It's fine.
Yep, whatever. We're at time.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little review of the.
Wait,
Well,
smoky cocktail lid. The little
cocktail smoker kit with torch, whiskey smoker kit, bourbon smoker kit, older fashioned drink smoker kit with 4 favors, wood chips, whiskey gifts for men /husband /dad, no butane /glass.
It actually misspelled favors to flavors.
Flavors to favors.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Right on the. Yeah.
And keep in mind, it does come with your own kitchen musket. So, in that regard, that's 5 stars for me because I didn't have a musket before, but now you do, and I know someone that actually owns a functioning musket.
Yeah. Check it out. I can.
Yeah,
musket. I just musketed.
There it is.
Careful, don't burn the mic down.
Yeah, that would be bad. Don't do that.
All right.
Be sure to return the cart.
Oh, absolutely. Also, wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
Check your oil, Tony.
Get the shot.
Make
Register
the
to vote.
call.
Yep, register to vote and vote. Make the call.
Yeah.
Do the kindness.
Do the kindness.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.